Where are they?
They're probably upstairs.
They never answered the door. Oh, wait. It's Monday night.
They're on the second floor.
Hey guys, welcome back to Second Floor Sessions. Thanks for joining us. I almost didn't make it here today. I forgot, basically. I called my wife, and I was beelining for the baseball fields because
I was loading a mower up. I don't know, it must have been in the air. I was loading a mower up, going to go test a mower out here at the store. I was going to test a mower out at my house. Well, I'm glad I didn't.
you was going home.
I was out of here.
I was headed to go to a baseball practice. So, and I had texted Megan, I was like, same thing as last night, because she dropped my oldest boy off. I went to go sit with him and pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
And she went home and she was like, what? And she called me and I couldn't answer. I was working, and then text me. I'm confused, and I called her. I was like, hey, she goes, you're confusing me. So you're coming home? I'm like, I'll get home eventually. Oh, it's Thursday. We got to go over and film podcast. I totally forgot all about it. So
yeah, so Alex, it's ever. She said, you podcast? She asked me that last night. I was like, yeah, I'm podcasting. Mm-hmm. Sure as the world. All day long. I had the mower loaded up on my stub nose out there. I was ready to go mow the yard, test that mower out after I got it fixed.
So this almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
We almost forgot about it.
But
so I've got a question.
mm-hmm.
What if today walk the listeners and the viewers and me through like a day in the life of Matt, like a working day through the week? Like, what's that like? What's that like for you? Fill us in on what you kind of go through, and I don't care if you've got a good story to put in there with it, or if it's just a normal boring day, whatever. But what all are you doing?
I wish sometimes, owning your own business, you don't want a boring day. Sometimes I would love to have a boring day. Any day I would pick, I would love to have a boring day. I guess my biggest, when I start out in the morning, first thing is I got to get up and get some coffee in me.
Well, what time you get up?
And that starts, I get up about 5:30. And that's of course, your morning routine, whether it's whatever you do. Take a bath, shower, whatever, get ready to get going. But that coffee's got to get hitting.
Well, I couldn't imagine having time just to dip down in a nice bath.
Well, shower.
I don't think anybody's doing that.
My bad, shower.
You're taking bubble baths.
Yeah.
Over here.
I do sometimes. I got to get a soaker. Get in there and soak. What's probably help that old knee.
You got one?
No, just soaking a bath with some Epsom salt with that old knee.
Damn, my freaking knees killing me. I played 5 games of full court basketball Monday night.
Yeah, you're getting old is what he's getting.
Yeah,
old.
My knees about to give up on me. But anyway.
Yeah. I might take a soaker every now and again. But anyway, I get me a cup of coffee on the way to work. And sometimes when I get to work, try to get here about 6:45, 7 o'clock every morning. Get in here, check all the inventory in. Check my
inventory every day?
Every day. Every day except Saturday. Saturday's my off day. I don't have no inventory coming in.
Is that so you can see to reorder stuff?
No. So inventory, we order it every day. So like today we put a stock order in. Anything that we need from yesterday, or everything we needed for today, I order it tonight. If I sold it today, it'll be back in tomorrow if it's available to be, had. But I check all that in the mornings, and
I see. Okay.
And go through the first few hours, couple 12 hours back of emails that I didn't maybe see overnight, because I get a bunch of emails overnight, different odd and end stuff, that they'll send just at random times. I think it's just a burst of emails that they send. Check that stuff out, roll through there, and check if we have any online sales. If we don't do any of that, we get our inventory unboxed and pull all that out, set it up on the cart for somebody to put up. And then you post all that stuff into your store. So now it's back into your inventory. Do that every day except Saturday. Some days are bigger than others. Some days you don't have a whole lot. But see, when you pull, we have like 10 different warehouses we pull from to stock the shelves. From then on, after inventory, after it opens up, it's just kind of no holds bars. I mean, it's wide open and especially this time. Winter times it's slower. It may take off. You may not see 2 or 3 people in an hour. You'll see 2 or 3 people in the first 10 minutes you're open. Immediately. People dropping off machines. So you always in your mind, I've got this board down there that I write on, that stuff that I would like to accomplish, try to get done. So if you ever have any downtime, I ain't got nothing to do. I'll run out here and do this real quick because I need to get it done. Whether it be clean the showroom or do something.
Yeah. Service
a vehicle. And big thing for me is I can't really I can schedule like my pickups and stuff for mowers and stuff, but I can't schedule it to the point to where, because I may be changing a battery, I may be changing the wipers, I've got a lot of different hats that I wear in the business, whether it's working on mowers, picking up mowers, putting batteries on, putting wipers on, reading check engine lights, all that good stuff. But anyways, after I get done with doing that, I usually head to the back and get my dad, which is a mechanic with me. He works on all the mowers. 75 years old.
And you.
And me, yeah, and me. But I mean, he's the dude for the service, and he's the service man. He knocks out 80% of the service work. That's drain. That's pretty just service. Drain fills, blade sharpens, everything. He knocks out, which don't sound like a lot, but I mean, he knocks out 5 or 6 a day. And on the mowers, that's. I mean, you're talking. I gotta have to beg him to take lunch sometimes. He won't take lunch. He'll clock out, but he won't. He'll just sit there and work through his I mean, that's just that generation. You can't find you that generation's about gone.
Yeah.
And I get him going, and if there's something that I diagnose, so that's kind of what I do a lot of all the diagnosing and stuff. So if there's anything like that to do, but then I funnel Dad. I'm funneling him work. I'm getting him all the stuff the kits to everything to fix that mower, everything to, if it needs blades, if it needs pulleys, I'm ordering all the stuff for him. So writing up tickets, calling the customers, letting them know what's wrong with it. If he finds anything in between, you know how it goes. Same thing with a car. But I'm the one that's doing the writing the tickets, selling the product, getting the parts, all that sort of stuff. And then he's the one that's usually doing the majority of the work. Anything computer related on a lawnmower, like EFI or electronic fuel injection, or people who don't know what that means. Anything, if it's got a computer on it, I hook my my computer up to it, and we'll read it and try to figure out what's going on. So after we get all him going up, rocking and rolling, it just depends on the day, but I just motor around. Most of the time I'm in the back trying to make things, flow better. Sometimes we can get in there and knock out 10 mowers a day. If it's nothing crazy holds us up, 10 to 12. 12's pushing it, but that's if everything's
right.
Smooth.
You don't run any problems.
Yeah, smooth, and then nothing needs
Extra.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
And something like that, it's not that hard to work, but I mean, Dad's 75 years old, and he moves like me and you, so you can't hardly hold him down, hold him back. And then, after we get rocking and everybody does their lunch thing, goes through or cycles through your lunch and whatnot, throughout the day, I'm always up front swapping batteries or, what have you. And then, when we get, that's basically the whole day, through the whole day, you're changing all that stuff out. You're just hitting stuff. If somebody needs parts, you run the parts down. I run the parts down the road. that sort of thing. But you know, the mass this year that happened is we were doing some remodeling downstairs, and the influx of repairs that we got in like 1 month.
Mower repairs.
Yeah, it was unreal. I mean, they've been sitting for 3 months, but they want them now,
Yeah.
want them fixed. But I had in here at one time, it was almost 40 mowers. That's a lot
Yeah.
in my area, in my shop.
That's
back
for
there.
actual repairs, or is that service work?
That's
involved?
service, repairs, oil leaks.
Okay, so you may have just a normal oil change service on one, but the next one may need a motor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
motors.
So it's
yeah.
not always. It's not just service.
No, it's not always
it-
service. I mean, I got one down there right now. It's needs a motor on it. But there again, it's just a constant throughout the day. It's in this line of work and in parts store that's busy and small engine and stuff like that. It's very high pace.
I don't
It's
see how
just-
you keep up with what
Well,
y'all are running for help.
Well, you just do.
I mean, I get the back. You're just getting
Get
it
'em
done
out
as
when
you
you
go.
I
But
don't understand how. I guess I do understand, because when we do it at a different level than what other people do, we don't. I don't know how people get like on small engine side, how they say that they're 3 to 4 weeks behind. I mean, I did get, this is the first time that year ever that I got about a week and a half behind. Usually I'm cranking them out in a couple, 2 or 3 days. Now, I do have a very, very large inventory of small engine parts, so that definitely helps. But yeah, I think that sometimes, but the problem is, who you gonna find? I mean, you can't hardly find what do I guess for me as the owner, what do I want to do? Do I want to stick back there in the back with my dad and just crank out work? Probably is what I'd like to do. Because that's where good money's made. When you on the small engine side. Or do I want to hire somebody and let them kind of be the top dog in the back, let dad just continue doing his service work, and then find somebody who can service or diagnose and service, and let them tear it, let them work it.
Yeah.
But there again, it's a dying trade. I mean, there ain't many people that's doing it,
No, and the ones that are
well, you burn out.
they're
You get-
setting for 7 months, and
Yeah,
somebody brings
oh,
it to
well,
you.
Yeah. But
know,
and then the people that are doing it, they get burnt out, because you get people that's just push.
Yeah,
But
I understand.
but anyways, after all that's after through the day there and get closed up, of course, you close the day out. Balance your drawers, and then I get to do the best part of the day. You go home and be a dad, so and a husband. So and then when I go home, and I mean when I shut it off, I shut it off. Like sometimes my wife don't know anything about up here, the day to day, what's happened, because when I go through that threshold of the business, I'm turning it off. I'm done with it. I generally don't answer, especially because some good customers have my cell phone number. I don't answer it. I don't, they can think of me what they want to think. But when I'm closed and I'm locked down, I'm done with it. I don't want, and that's, now on Tuesdays, it's different. Tuesdays are different for me. I'm rocking, I'm in that stub nose. Right now, this is how it's working for me. That stub nose on Tuesdays, I'm beating the highways down at least 5 or 6 hours a day.
Dang.
Picking up mowers. It's usually picking up on and dropping off if I have any to drop off. You calculate, you just make the route in your head. Okay, well, I've got 2 in Loudon, and I've got 3 in Madisonville, and I got 4 in Von Orr. So I'll snag these 4 up in Von Orr and bring them back, and then I'll hit Madisonville, or I'll hit Loudon, because they're down off 72, and then you'll wrap around, and then you'll swing back through the country and grab the ones in Madison. You just make this big loop, And and then you know if there's any of them done in that in the midst of all that, you'll have it on your truck. If you got enough room, you put it on your truck and drop it off on the way back through. You know.
Yeah.
I hate to you know lead my customers to where I'm not being ugly, but when you're as busy as I am, unfortunately, I don't have time to sit and talk to you. You know,
At the house when they're picking them up.
yeah,
I can imagine that.
I mean, I don't. I'm not being, you know, I get it if you need to tell me something that it's doing this or doing that or it's got, you know, but that's where the work order comes in. You need to make sure that you get all that. I can't stand when I go out in the parking lot and I get a work order and that work order says oil change and then I get out there and then I, you know, to unload it and I'm pushing it off the trailer. It don't need just an oil change. What if you can't drive this thing off? What's the problem? You know.
Yeah.
Well, I just need it serviced for this year, but it started doing this thing that's servicing it, and is not the same thing as diagnosing it. Figure out what it's doing. That don't fall in that line. That's two different things there.
I change oil on it.
Yeah. You're still not going to run.
Yeah.
Still not going to run. You're going to have to push it back up on the trailer when you come back.
We'll
That's
set
not
it
how
out there and you
works.
can't
or
use
you go out and they write all this stuff down. They write a whole paragraph down for you, and then
It talks about going to the grocery store. Yeah.
yeah, you could The last time I went around the flower bed, it backfired. Well, I don't know, you know, but okay. So the biggest thing is with stuff like that is like, you know, when I go out there and to go, you know, pull the mower around or something, they've wrote all this stuff down, and then I go out there and like, oh yeah, now make sure you remember to check that tire for leaks. Do this and do that. Well, if you ain't got it on that paper, it may not get done because I ain't gonna touch this thing for 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to remember that. Maybe, I mean, sometimes I'm pretty good about remembering it, but sometimes it slips my mind. But anyways, besides all that, getting off track, but the taking that and, you know, all that aside, when 5:30 comes around, like I said, going home and we do our life. I want to go through that door at the house and I want to be a dad. I want to be a father, I want to be a husband, and shut the store off. I just shut it down. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And then in the evenings, Matt's over there on the recliner about 8:30, 9 o'clock out, you know. She's like, just go to bed. Go to bed, honey. Go on to bed. I'm good, honey. I'm fine.
So would you consider yourself a morning or a night person?
Oh, I'm
Sounds like morning.
Morning all day. I can't stand being up late at night. I absolutely cannot stand being up late at night. Now I can thrive at 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'm like, well, I'm ready to go. You know, I don't need to go in this early, but I could go in and I could do this, and this. You know, like Saturdays, I shut the doors of the store right now. I'll probably do it 1st of April. I'll start going back to 2 o'clock, but I do 12 o'clock right now. It just works good for my schedule, our schedule here at the store, because it's so pretty and stuff right now. It's starting to pick up. Business is starting to traffic because, you know, on Saturdays in December, you know, December 18th, we may have 10 customers that come in on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. Where last Saturday, me and Dave cranked out 45 customers in 4 hours, you know. Mm-hmm. So, but after I close the doors, I take off Saturday and start doing all the deliveries that I picked up Tuesday, generally.
Okay.
So
you do that 2 days a week. That's your goal. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I try to. It don't always work out, but then if not, I'll get them the following Tuesday. So it's technically here at the late. Like if your mower's here over a week, it's because you either ain't come picked it up or we're waiting on parts. And that generally waiting on parts thing now when COVID was going on, they may sit here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 on parts. But now it's
out of your control.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. So it's pretty good. But now as far as Tuesdays and Saturdays are kind of my Saturdays. I consider that kind of my off day because I don't do my normal routine, and 6 days a week for me. I mean, that's 6 days a week. It's been 6 days a week since I opened this place since 2017. So, but I've always been used to 6 days a week. I mean, when I worked at the shop, automotive shop, I was 6 days a week.
Well, you had a day off.
I had a day
You
off.
could choose to take it or not.
Well, they wouldn't.
You can choose to take it or not.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah, well, they never bat an eye if I.
Yeah.
A lot of people they wouldn't let them work their off days there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
If you was turning the dollar, they didn't care if you stayed there. You know what I mean?
Well, and our professions are so closely sort of similar.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a very big difference with them. So mine's not much different than your routine is. But I get up at my alarms. I set a bunch of alarms. I don't know how you are. If you just one alarm and up and done.
Alarm. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, not me. I like to be able to. If I wake up, I'm like, I ain't feeling it. I want to just, I'll wait on the next one. Nah, you can snooze them all you want and make them go, but I just set a bunch of them. So,
okay.
But I get up about 5 every morning, and if I'm,
what's the latest you can do it and get there? Like 6?
You
pushing 6?
Yeah, that's probably about as late as I need to go. I mean, if I had to, if I woke up at 6:20, if I woke up at 6:20, it would be 911. It would be 911. There wouldn't be teeth brushed. If I had hair, it'd be a freaking mess. But I could probably, because it's about a 40-minute drive.
So it's
30. If I speed, I can get there between 30 and 40. So I could get there technically without being late. But most mornings I'm there by 6, sometimes 6:15, 6:30. It just kind of depends on when I decide to get motivated enough to get up or whatever. I was out of it this week. When was it? It was this morning. This morning I woke up. I didn't get to work this morning until about 6:45, and we started at 7. And I've got a pretty long, lengthy routine. And of course I got 3 other people today that were there before me. And so they had the majority of everything knocked out that we got to do anyway. And pretty much we can all kind of do everything, unless I'm doing like time sheets or something, and that's just me. But, this morning, I don't know what happened. I told you I played basketball Monday, so I've been super tired since then. But it's like almost ever since this time change we had, I've not been able to adjust.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's funny about that is I remember I used to work, when I worked somewhere else, I had a guy tell me one time, he said, man, I don't like this time change. And we had lost an hour. Mm-hmm. So we had, what is it? We had fell back. So it was in the fall, I guess. Mm-hmm. We fell back, and instead of going to sleep at 9 or 10 o'clock, and I'm in the shop at this time, but 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm going to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock,
mm-hmm.
and he's complaining about the time. And he was an older guy than me, and he had kids and stuff, and I didn't. And I said, he said, man, this time change is killing me. And I was like, I freaking love it. He said, what do you mean you love it? I was like, I went to bed last 3 nights at 7:30, and I'm waking up, and I'm coming to work, and I feel better and all that. Mm-hmm. He's like, 7:30? He's like, yeah. He goes, well, you ain't got no kids. You'll change that when you have kids. And I thought, you're crazy. I'll be even more tired. I'll go to bed even sooner. Well, now I realize what he's saying. Now I realize, get them kids in bed and just have time for yourself. So
chill out.
Yeah, but I realize that now. And I'm not one of those people who can sleep long. I mean, I'm 8 hours and up. I mean, it don't matter what time I go to bed. If I get 8 hours, I'm pretty much programmed to just kind of get up.
I'm about a 6 to 7. 6 or 7, boom, I'm up. I mean, I can function really well on 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah, you're feeling more manly than I am. Then you got more testosterone flowing or something. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, I've been having trouble getting up. So this morning I woke up late, of course, like I'm saying, and I'm gonna make it to work plenty of time, whatever. But I woke up late. I remember holding the phone and she's hitting me. She's doing this. She's rolled over this way and hitting me. And I remember holding the phone and it's going off. The alarm's going off. That's why she's hitting
Oh,
me.
okay.
She just keeps hitting me because I'm not turning my alarm off.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm holding the phone, for some reason, her hit me like that. I thought she threw her phone over to me, like it was her alarm going off, and she couldn't get it to go off or something. She's like, "Bo," I'm like, "Your freaking phone! It won't." I'm trying to, and then finally, I woke up and came to enough to realize that's her face looking at me, and this is my phone.
Yeah.
So I turned it off. I was like, I gotta go. But that was this.
So are you a get up and go kind of guy, or are you like sometimes I'll fix my breakfast, I'll
I would
make my coffee, I'll fix my breakfast, take a shower, or are you the type that'll just be like, all right, boom, I'm getting up at 6, I'm out the door by 6:10, I'm brushing my teeth and getting out the door. Like, are you a morning shower or an evening shower?
So I'm. That's a good question, but it's a big answer. I'm more complicated than that. So it just depends. I mean, no, my shower's definitely taken at night before I lay down in my bed. I mean, I'm definitely taking a shower.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I meant, so you don't take one in the morning though.
No.
So I take one at night. I take one in the morning.
No, I don't double up, but
all right.
I take one at night every night and then go to bed. And then, I mean,
got you.
even if I woke up an hour early, I'm not going to take a shower. Like, I would be, I would just get ready and leave earlier and whatever. Maybe I got time to stop and grab a biscuit, or I got something at work I need to do or whatever. But I would, now if I'm sick, going to work all stopped up and throat hurting and stuff. Yeah, I'm setting early alarms and getting in the shower.
Yeah.
I want that steam to
clear
run through
out.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm complicated about it. So, I mean, but as far as breakfast and stuff like that, I mean, I very rarely do that. My house is so tiny, so small. It's the reason I want to build a new house.
I don't know about it. It ain't no smaller than mine.
It probably ain't, and I know how small your house is. I know my kitchen's bigger than yours. I can remember how small your kitchen is.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, I don't want to wake her and the kids up. So my goal is like wake up, get ready as quickly and as quietly as you can, and get out of the house. So I don't wake nobody up. So that's really my mindset when I wake up. Yeah. Now, that's not to say I haven't ever made breakfast. I have, but I try not to. I usually don't eat breakfast. So, I mean, I usually just go to work. But
I gotta have breakfast.
no,
That's usually the only meal I get though. So generally, I don't eat lunch. That's just I don't eat lunch. I don't eat until I get back home.
Yeah.
So I gotta get something to get me rocking.
Well, so anyway, I get up and go to work. And like I said, I've got about a 30 to 40-minute drive in the mornings because there's no traffic.
Oh, that's another thing for me though. I went from my old job was 45 minutes for me.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be much different than what I do now.
45 minutes, and now I can make it here in about 11 minutes, but generally it's about 13 minutes to get here. Easing here is 13 minutes. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'll never know it. But how sad.
Yeah, you say, yeah. Well, that was well, I mean, it's still not even when you worked at the other place there. It wasn't that far for you, was it? It was, what, 20 minutes from
Lenore City?
Athens.
Co-op?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was the same. I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean,
well, I guess it is. It's Athens. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still. I mean, it's 30-minute drive down there, 30 whatever.
But anyways, go ahead.
Well, yeah. So I go to work. Like the things we got to do. We keep rocking chairs inside. We don't leave them out because people suck and they'll just take them or vandalize them for no reason or whatever. And I'm not a firm believer in that. That's just my boss's gig. Like he wants to pull them in tonight because it's easy enough to do, but I've left them out, like piss on them chairs. I'm leaving them out there, and then I get fussed at the next day. You left the chairs out. So, well, nobody got them. So
I'm trying to prove a point here.
Yeah, but whatever. So anyway, we got to set those out in the morning when we get there, put a pot of coffee on because we offer coffee to the customers. If it's wintertime, you got to get all the heaters on, and I try to get there early enough to where the shop's halfway warm, before all the doors start hitting open up, and the cars are pulling in. So you got to turn the compressors on, emails for appointments, drop off tickets, people dropping keys and work, fill out envelopes and drop. Yeah. So you gotta write all those up. You got to go through all the appointments. Not appointments, but emails for appointments, for different things, check all your emails. Nowadays, though, we've got live time booking for like oil changes.
That's nice.
It took away 75% of the emails, I mean, people still have to, if they're just dying to do an email, which I don't get. Why does everybody want to email? Like, emails just never, I don't know if that's like before our time or like, if that's like somebody who reached maturity in the 90s or something, like they turned 18 in 99 and they're, they're kind of getting in the early 2000s, maybe that's their form of contact. But to me, it's just so stupid. Like I would much rather just pick up a phone and call
somebody.
Yeah. And a matter of fact, when we get emails, if it ain't just straightforward, that's the first thing I do, and I call them and I'm like, you force this upon yourself by sending this email, but yeah, anyway, we got to go through all those and make sure, everybody's scheduled the way it is. And even with all these new systems you're trying out or different programs, like even if we get no reply stuff where it just says, hey, you had a customer booked for this, like we'll still go in there and look and make sure it's there, just in case.
Yeah, just make sure something didn't fail.
Right, yeah. And we haven't had a ton of trouble with that or anything, but we have a few times where we've realized system ain't working or whatever, got to kind of turn it off till it's fixed or something. But anyway, that's helped tremendously. But you got to do that. I got to do time, once a week, every week, and verify and fix everybody's time and get it to our guy that writes the checks and all that kind of stuff. And then on Mondays is different for me. Like Tuesdays is different for you. Mondays is different for me because I don't have a service manager. So it's his day off. So I run service. So I'm in the back instead of the front. They want me up front, but I can do both, whatever.
Right.
But I've got to do the majority of it from the back. So mostly I'm in the back on Mondays, and so those days are a little bit different. But yeah.
So does that just consist of doing service writer job, just like writing quotes, calling customers, that sort of thing?
Yeah. I consider that more. Yeah. You would consider a service writer's job. Yeah, which is service manager in our business. In our business, but yeah.
Does every shop have that now? A service manager?
Yeah, in a way, pretty much. Yeah. So
it's not like when we were doing it. You called your customer, you talked to your customer, made your
own estimates and took it back to the guy that wrote the ticket at the front office. No, nobody does that no more.
Okay,
it's all. We were the only generation that could do that. No,
that's gone.
Yeah,
that generation's gone. Yeah, this generation ain't gonna. That ain't gonna happen.
No, they can't do that. But no, everybody's got that. So on Mondays I have to do that, which, they just now if you brought your F-150 in and it has bad lower ball joints, you write bad lower ball joints on it. I verify that I see what you're seeing and I agree with you or whatever. A good service manager should do that if you know what you're looking at,
right?
And then I talk to you about it and and then I go in and make the estimate and call the customer, sell the job, whatever. So, and there's a bunch of phone calls throughout the day, in that role.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Because I'll tell them, I'm like, mechanical calls, I'll get up front and we'll go over the schedule with my front sales staff first. And I'm like, okay, here's the appointments for the day. I might take another brake job or two or something like that. If it's anything else, let me talk to them and I'll be like, hey, Amber, Rusty, if it's a brake job, schedule it starting this day or whatever. If it's any other mechanical service that's more complicated or you're questioning yourself, just put them through to me. Then, that's the way I kind of lay it out.
So if something simple, handle it. If it's a little, let me have it.
Yeah, and I grab my mechanics on Mondays and I say, hey guys, come in here, and we go in the service manager's office and we go over the schedule together. I'm like, here's what you guys got to do today. You know, this car's this kind of car, and it's coming in for this problem, and this one's this problem at this time.
So does it you delegate to who gets what kind of thing? Like, here's a drivability, here's a oil change and a brake service and whatever, shocks or whatever. Do you just delegate that, or do they just kind of pick? You know, 'cause that's what we used to do. We just kind of go up. If it was something mechanical, if you wanted it, you could go up and get it. If it was ball joints, if it was brakes, if it was whatever.
So I'm fortunate enough to run a company or a store that operates the way I want it to.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I took over that store, it did not.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is we have columns on our scheduling that we use for our point of sales. And if it's mechanical, it goes in these 3 columns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they're labeled for what they are. And then if it's oil, you know, down through there. If it's new tires or repairs, alignments are actually out here in the front. And then we have just a bunch of open columns where we can throw something in there so we know it's coming, even though it's not really got an appointment, like work-in type stuff. But I'm fortunate enough to have more than 2, the entire shop, but I'm talking specifically mechanics who are doing the mechanical side of the work. 2 really good guys who I don't have to micromanage when it comes to that.
That's nice.
They know their jobs. They know what they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
They know if it's hanging on the board, it's got to be done.
Mm-hmm.
They know if they're waiting on an answer on another car to grab another one. And they got enough common sense to know, okay, there's 3 hanging on the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to go. I got to get that. I got to get that. I got to get it done. But in 15 minutes, there's an appointment coming in. I'm not going to go over there. As bad as I want to try to go over there and get that, I'm not going to. Yeah. Or if it's something, they also know, hey, if it's something I can look at that I could put behind this one,
yes.
I'll pull it out back behind it and do it. Anything's going to be up top on this one. You know, it's a coolant leak or something, and it's, you know, I can do it on the ground. Mm-hmm. They'll put it behind one where a big job. So whatever, you know, they're smart enough to know that. They don't have, you don't have to tell them every move to make. Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice.
Exactly. So
they actually keep up with the schedule and stuff too.
Yeah,
that's super nice.
Yeah, they can log in on
there. That was what was so bad where we worked. Man, there was no scheduling. There was nothing.
I kind of like that better.
Well, but you got to have the right people to do it though. Yeah. You got to have the motivated people to do it. I mean, they had me, you, Dustin.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, those people, we wanted to, you know.
Well, think about it like this, how I think about it. So, and we've kind of got into discussing about our jobs now instead of just our days. But, I mean, I think of it like this. You know, back when it was first come, first serve, which is what you call that. To me, those days were so much simpler, right? We blame it on COVID for being what changed it to appointments. Realistically, we wanted to go that way anyway, or the company did. Mm-hmm. Obviously, what I want don't matter because I'm going the other way. But, you know, you sit in that world of first come, first serve saying, man, I wish I knew what was coming in. Mm-hmm. And then when you get in that world of you know what's coming in, now all of a sudden you go from, yeah, we can get to it, be after a while, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we'll take it. Okay. You know, and it's first come, first serve. You know, that was glorious compared to, okay, I've made a promise for these 7 wheel alignments to get done by, or this, let's just go over the first part. I've made a promise at 7:30 we get this wheel alignment done by this time to get this one in, and then this brake job would get done by the time this guy's going to be here, and that ball joint job would get done by the time these tie rods are going to be here, and then, you know, in this running issue, who you don't, and you don't know what in the world it is, but yet you've got another brake job scheduled right below it 2 hours later. What, you know, so now all of a sudden, and same goes with tires and oil and everything else, and you know as well as I do, you pull an oil plug out and the threads come out of the pan with it. Mm-hmm. Well, now all of a sudden you're behind. Mm-hmm. And who knows for how long, because you got to figure out a way to fix this. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden you went from nonchalant, go with the flow kind of a schedule which is first come, first serve, to now I've made these
everything is so structured.
These 6 promises.
You have to keep up with that structure.
What's going to happen if something messes up? And that's just 7:30 to 8, you know?
Yeah, right.
You still got it like this the rest of the day. So it adds an area for issues to happen, you know, from a disappointing standpoint
Yeah,
where
I
you,
thought-
you
yeah.
disappoint somebody.
So customer, I should have been out of here at 8:30.
I had a lady today that, and she was totally fine. She was totally fine. She didn't say nothing ugly, but I could see the frustration, that she had, and I understand the frustration, But at the same time, you've got to understand, what's going on our end too, which is we're trying to make as much money as we can. We're trying to help as many people as we can, and we're trying to treat everybody fair. Okay, and we all have families to feed and take care of, and business to run, and expectations to meet. Same as she does. Well, she came in. It was like 11:45, and they had dropped their car off at 9:30, right? And we told her it'd be, she wanted us to look at the brakes. Thought she needed brakes, okay? And we had estimated her probably be a couple hours to get the brake work done if you need brakes, right? So that's test driving it, figuring out anything you see there, pulling it in, racking it, pulling the wheels off, inspecting it, going over whatever it may need. Don't know what really transpired between that time. I'm not running service manager today. But then getting the information to the service manager, relaying that. Then the service manager spends the time looking everything up, calling the customer, back and forth with them on cost or whatever of what it's going to be. And at that point in time, too, time expectations, how I do it on Mondays. But, and then order the parts, let the parts get there, and then perform the work. Right? Or perform as much work as you can until the parts get there. Okay. Now, there's a lot of things that have to go exactly like you want them to go in order for that to work out, right?
Well, that's the way it works here. Absolutely.
And generally,
That's the way it
2
works at this
hours
shop.
is good. 1 to 2 hours is kind of what we tell everybody. Because sometimes it's a cut job, pads are in stock. We're going to cut the rotors in 30 minutes and put a set of pads on in another 30 minutes, and it's out an hour. Whatever. In this particular case, there was some sort of a delay on getting in this case, pads and rotors we needed to have for the rear axle of this car. But there was some sort of a delay, right? I went back and I checked with Eric, and it was like I said, 11:45. She had stopped by and said, "How much longer do you think I'm going to have on my car?" And at 11:45, the only thing we had done was everything I had mentioned, ordered the parts, and the parts had just gotten there. He had another vehicle he's working on right beside it. And he had taken, the calipers off, pushed the pistons in, made sure they were good. And that's as far as he had gotten. And the parts had just came there. So I'm looking at that going, well, and while they're in the middle of trying to find a snap ring for a ball joint Bill was working on, that would fit it because it didn't come with one or something. So there's several things that are taking up time here. So I went back up front and I told her, I said, it's going to be a little bit still. And she just looked at me, and I'm like, here we go, and she's like, well, I was told 2 hours. I'm like, well, the parts just got here, and it's lunchtime. Are you going to think we shouldn't have lunch, kind of thing?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we should try to honor what we're telling her, so it's just, and I told her, they'll get back at 1. It'd be about 2 o'clock when we get it wrapped up, realistically. And it was 1:30, 40, something like that.
Still
We were
in that window, though.
Oh yeah, we got it done. I mean, but it was still over the 2 hours from the 9:30 appointment she had.
Okay, I got you.
And she dropped it off.
Yeah.
And then she
But
comes
she come back.
But
at
she
a
came.
okay.
Yeah. So it's tough
Yeah.
when you've got this. Now all of a sudden you went from getting it done
Well,
and
yeah,
just
but-
a verbal promise to a level of expectation.
And
all day long.
what she done
everybody.
is she come back. She dropped it off probably as she was going to work or something, and then she's coming back to go to lunch. I don't know if this is the case or not.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't the case.
Okay.
But anyway, no, that happens all the time.
Yeah, she's picking it up at her lunch break.
And I will say too, in whoever told her 2 hours in their defense, that's 9 out of 10 times it's going to happen that way. Today was just it didn't work out. It didn't work out.
But that's the way it is.
But people have got to understand on the other side, there's a lot of moving parts going right there.
Absolutely.
And one thing can set you back.
Go back to, so first come first serve when we used to work on cars. It was just every man. Well, not really every man for himself. He had front end work. I had service work. I had oil changes. I had brakes. I had this. I had that. Whatever. And they kind of opened it up to where we could do just pretty much. I mean, you could go do a timing belt if you wanted to. And I mean, you wouldn't, but I'm just saying you would. You could if you wanted to.
If you were capable.
Yeah. So.
Which is what I'm completely against, by the way.
Yeah.
When it comes to scheduling.
Yeah. Well, absolutely, absolutely. No, but now as far as first come first serve, the only reason I didn't like it, I like the scheduling part of it. Because
there was not one.
No. I like the scheduling now. I'm saying the scheduling side of it now, because you know what's coming, you know what to expect. But and I felt this way, and I'm sure you I don't know how you felt about it. I always felt like the people that was writing the tickets was almost just, they never paid attention to what's going on. Never paid attention. Just hang it up. They'll take in. It's like when you go to a restaurant and it's going to be 15 minutes, and then 5 other people show up, or 5 other families show up, and you don't tell that you tell the same 5 families it's going to be 15 more minutes. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It does not how it works. It's not, we'll get you right in. Well, there's already 8 hanging back here, and you're double stacking tickets. It ain't going to be 15 minutes, and we'll get them in.
So
we're getting them in an hour.
Yeah, but you're thinking of it from the shop side in a setting that was ran very poorly.
Absolutely,
okay?
Very poorly.
Completely different than what I'm doing now.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I would think it would be really nice to have a schedule where you've got 20 oil changes coming in today.
From the level you're at, absolutely. From the level from the level you're thinking at.
Yeah.
From the level that I'm in, which is, you're in it here, but you wasn't never in it there.
Yeah.
From that end of that building, it's better and it's bad at the same time. Where it's really bad is like, you say you have a full oil change schedule like you're going to do, and I mean we can book like, I don't know, 25 to 30 in a day, and get them all done if I've got enough people there. But if you do that, you still, I'm not talking about, let's say you have this whole column filled up and you've got like 4 over here for another, rando to do, random guy, or one of the other guys you decide to point to it or whatever. Well, you're always going to have some kind of a flub up with, I called, I'm supposed to have an appointment. Okay, so you got those. You've got, I made an appointment online. Let me see your phone. That's at a different location. Let us see if we can help you. You have all that stuff, and then you have the people who show up like just unconsciously. Can I get an oil change right now? I want an oil change right now. You have all those people. So
still have a lot of that.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah. So, and I'll tell people, maybe we get like 3 or 4 of those in a row. And they're like, my gosh, and you just say, no, we can't do it today. You got to schedule it out. Well, easy enough, right? But if they're pushy, and then you got to push them back or whatever, or say you decide to wiggle your schedule to make it work because you're wanting to help them or whatever, it's so much harder. They're like, I'm like, gosh, I wish we were still first come, first serve. And they're like, really? The people that are working there now who didn't work back then. And I'm like, yes. Don't you think it would be much easier if you said, well, there's 3 hanging in front of you. We'll get to you, when we get those 3 done. How long will that be? About an hour and a half or an hour from now, or an hour to an hour and a half we'll get to you.
Yeah.
That's so easy compared to, I've got to figure out if I can fit it in here and still get to this one, and by then this one's going to be here, and then this one, and this one, and this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it rolls every 30 minutes. It's just constant. And hope nobody has some sort of problem, a setback. It'd be so much easier if it was like that still.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, dealing with customers, answering phones, hands-on cars sometimes. I mean, what was it? Wednesday? What was it? Thursday? Yeah. So Tuesday, I think it was. I went out and put 1 tire on and did a rotation on my lunch break. When I'm sitting in my office, that was Monday. Anyway, but so I still have to do stuff. I still help people. I still, I'll try to figure some stuff out in the parking lot against my manager's will. He don't want me doing that kind of stuff, or my owner's will. But, I'll still do that just to prevent from blocking up an important space on a schedule or wasting their time back there when they're trying to get something done.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go out and fool around with something if I got enough help to do it. And,
Right.
I may do some of that. And, if I'm not doing anything, maybe I go pick up a customer that needs a ride. Maybe I send somebody, whatever it is. And then throughout the day, and you can imagine if you're seeing 40 to 60 cars a day, how many times somebody comes up to the guy going, hey, can you look at this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Hey, will you tell me what to do here? Hey, I can't find these. Hey, this, hey, that.
Mm-hmm.
On top of phones ringing constantly all day long.
Yeah.
And then at 5 o'clock, I wish I could do what you do
Mm-hmm.
and shut it off, but I don't. I think about, that lady looking at me like that. I can see her face now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
crap, I've let her down.
Mhm.
We've let her down. Now what can I do?
Well, and it's hard to get to that. I mean, I still get. I'm not going to say that I just absolutely flip the switch, but I mean that switch is flipped, but there is occasional slipping. But I mean, I still. Not that I don't care.
So I guess I probably do shut the door on it when I go home because I don't talk about. Megan would say I don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Megan would say that.
Yeah.
However, I do talk about something. If it's something really bad or something really frustrated me, I do talk to her about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was, if it's just like my mind's constantly turning with it,
Mm-hmm.
I can't shut that off.
Right.
But I don't take it and give it to them at the house,
Yeah.
or whatever. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I guess my biggest thing is it doesn't have any sort of hold on you or control over you when you leave. Like it doesn't consume you. Now, certain things.
If I know there's a problem I'm dealing with the next day, it does.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what used to bother me the worst is when somebody would not buy like a lawnmower from me.
I could care less about that.
Well, you think that until somebody goes, that you think that you would take to the bank with you, and then they just turn
like
around.
me?
Yeah, sure. You
Yeah,
go
like
out
if I said I wanted a lawnmower and I went and bought it from Joe down the street, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that would bother me.
that I'm like, well, why did you do that? I just want to know why. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have a good answer, that's fine.
Yeah.
And when I ask you about it, and you just say, well, I liked him better, it's okay.
Have you ever been to sales training of any kind?
Well, I mean, I do a lot of online stuff, sales
Do you?
stuff online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So different tips and tricks or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or ways to act or things to do. So we've been told several times. We go to sales meetings, but it's mostly just about the business, not really about any kind of training type stuff.
Mhm.
I was always made to go over and tell that customer what's wrong. So, my boss knew that I could just talk to somebody like that. So he knew I wouldn't have a problem with something like that. However, I will get coached occasionally, Bo, you should have said this or done it like this or took that customer back there and showed them or don't ever tell a customer this, don't ever tell a customer that or whatever. Maybe they hear me do something they don't like, and I'm like, and you know what I think works the best when it comes to selling? Acting like you don't care at all.
Mhm.
One time I did that to a guy and I really don't. I mean, it ain't my business.
Right.
That's the difference between me and you.
I get that,
You
yeah.
care because you want to sell it because it's your business.
Yeah, right.
You've got all the wager out there.
Mhm.
I just work for somebody who's put up all the wager.
Right.
For me. So I told a guy, he's like, look at my tires, and I'm like, okay. And I'll go outside and I look at him. He's like, now it's just an old trash truck. It's just an old trash truck. I'm like, okay. Yeah, well these back here, they're wore out. Yeah, I know I need 2 rear ones. What do you think about them front ones? And I'm like, then it's old 1500. And I'm like, they're old. They're 10 years old. They're dry rotted. So yeah, technically the industry standard's 5 years. So yeah, you need a couple front tires too, Oh, of course you're going to tell me that, you're here to sell me tires. I said, I don't care if you buy the back ones from me. It don't make no difference to me. That's what I told him. He goes, all right, give me 4. Give me 4. Give me 4 Michelins. He sure did. But that was I mean,
Yeah,
I,
well,
and I mean,
I guess okay. If you okay,
as long as I serve you the way I think is best serving you, which is doing anything I can to answer your questions
Mhm.
and give you the information you need to know, I don't care if you do anything else.
so just think of it as just you don't even have to say a name or anything about company or anybody. Your best customer, and that's your top customer that it doesn't matter what Bo Bradshaw says, that they're going to do it. You take that customer and then you find out, 2-3 months goes by and he's going down to the shop right beside you's down there, and he's doing all of his business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I guess I'm getting at. But with the mowers, with the parts, with the automotive side, all that, and you're like,
What did we do wrong?
What I want to know, like what's the deal, And I have customers like that all the time that you'll be like, you'll be driving home, you're like, and the thing is like, I know that's his vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guarantee you the guys inside that are working at that other store down the road, I guarantee you they can't tell what vehicle he drives. I can tell you that's his vehicle. I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is he doing down there? I've been,
But you're not pulling in to find out?
No, but the next time he comes in, I may mention something. What were you doing down there?
I was going to say, what you may not know, though, is like, for example,
Mm.
I may go to Advance, O'Reilly's, anywhere if I'm home and I'm needing something for my vehicle.
Absolutely.
I don't have a preference, but I may be anywhere. It just depends on what I'm driving by and really kind of what I think they might have that I need, and I don't think nothing about it. I mean, of course, I ain't got a buddy that works like over in my area, if you had a store over there, it's exactly where I'd go.
Yeah.
But then again, I wouldn't want you to ridicule me just because I stopped by one that was on the way to the house because I needed a quart of oil.
No. Here's the thing.
What I'm saying?
Here's the thing. Is then I guess the biggest thing is when they come back, and then they have an issue with something.
Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't sell it to you, but he wants you to fix it, or he wants you to not fix it, but he wants you to. Well,
in our line of work, though, you know how that is.
Oh, I know.
You tell them to take it back where they had the work
absolutely,
done.
I know.
Because they should have some kind of a warranty.
But I just don't get it. I am a huge fan of tried and true to the people that I know.
Loyalty. That's what you call that.
The people that I know that's going to take care of me and my family. I'll go back and I'll pay a little extra. I'm not that dude that's nickel and diming somebody to death. I mean, I'll pay you a little bit more money for the better service.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we offer here. But sometimes I just wonder, I'm like, why didn't you went and bought this, this, when I sell the same exact equivalent, you buy it, up what I don't know what gets in people's head. They know I sell it. You know what I mean? What happens? And then you come back and you try not to have hard feelings, but it when you own the business, you kind of wear this like little, you have this little thing on you all the time. It's like with your customers of why did you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't own the business, I don't care. Heck with it. Go down the road and buy them. I don't care. We don't have to see you no more. But I'm not like that. It's like, what did I do to you?
It's different.
Yeah, it is
different for you than it is for me.
But I don't know. And you're never going to get a straight answer when a customer, does something like that. I truly, in a business stance, I care a lot. I really do. But that's where I'm saying I had to learn to shut that stuff off and not pick it up and just drop it, because it will absolutely overcome me. Yeah, it will. That's just the way it was. And owning your own business, it does that sort of thing to you. Because like you said, I don't care if you buy from me or not. Go buy, if you want, go get you 2 tires down the road, or, but to me, I'm like, I want you to buy everything from me, from your quart of oil to your lawn mower, but I know that's not real. That's not a real world thing. It's not. I mean, I go down to these other stores and snoop and prowl, and I may buy something because I go in there 3 times a week. If I'm in there searching for something, I may buy a roll of duct tape or electrical tape or something, so it don't look extremely suspicious. You come in there 3 times a week when you're trying to snoop around and for business. And I think it's a great idea, like you guys do, going from shop to shop to shop to part store to part store to figure out where you're at, how you're treated.
Making sure you're in the range of
and
everybody
how you're treated, and how that's a big thing. But I just don't. I guess going back to my customer thing there, I don't understand that at all. I'm tried and true and loyal to who I know.
And the difference too, I'll tell you this, and you wouldn't notice it if it was the same way as it is for us. You wouldn't notice it because when you got off work and you went home, everybody between here and there is closed.
Oh yeah,
you wouldn't see it. You
I
wouldn't know it.
I
and I don't drive by nowhere anyway. For me, But
well, I get that. I get that.
But I do have customers that come in and say, "Hey, I was over at some like just today. I looked at a lady's tires for her, and I'm gonna call and I'm gonna go to bat for her tomorrow with Michelin, and try to get a set of BFGs warranted for her, and see what I can do. But some dealer told her that they were cupped, and that's why they were so noisy today. She's at the dealer. But she told me when she came in there, and she only had 35,000 miles on these tires, which is, pretty good bunch of miles, but, they're supposed to go another 30 or 25, whatever. But and she told me, she's like, well, I wouldn't have been over there if I wouldn't have called the other day, and y'all didn't do transmission flushes. That's the only thing I went for. They sold me $1,500 worth of stuff I didn't want. And I'm like, yeah, well, there you go. Sorry, we're not getting in the transmission world. Not now. We got out of it. We don't want to get back in.
You don't do that anymore?
No.
Really? Okay.
No way. I'll change your manual transmission fluid for you or something, or if it's, whatever. No. The answer is no. We just half the time we won't.
I used to eat those things up. I used to love
that
stuff.
That was a long time ago.
I know that was
very
10,
different
10
again.
or 12.
Very different.
Yeah, everything's different fluid now.
Yeah, like a Ford F-150 that's got a little dipstick on the side of the transmission.
The Ultra LV.
There's 3 levels on there, and you don't know. You have to have a scan tool.
You have
to have data on.
You gotta have it right temperature. I own one of those transmissions.
Yeah. See, but we won't touch it.
Yeah.
I'll pull your. He's like, because people don't know that. They know they watch the YouTube video and it said you can pull it out right there and check it. Yeah. Well, I can do that for you. I can't tell you if I'm right or wrong. I'll tell you what stick it's on, but I don't know anything about it.
I will say on ProDemand, it will tell you which stick you have. You got 3 different sticks, like you said.
Like ProDemand would say the top one's this temperature, that temperature, whatever.
Well, it would say, you got 3 sticks. You got 3 different dipsticks. That way the hash marks are designed. You got numbers, letters, and dots or hash marks or whatever on those.
Yeah.
Whichever transmission you have, when it gets to X amount of range, then you've got this dipstick, you need to be right here and right here.
But you got to know temperature still, right?
Yeah, but generally the temp. Well,
you mean operating temperature?
Yeah, operating temperature.
Yeah, technically it's supposed to be temperature of the fluid.
Yeah.
But
operating temperature. But anyway.
But yeah, we try to stay clear of it.
Let's go back real quick to the customer thing. So what? I guess another thing that gets me really sour with all that with when I see. Okay, say on it's my Tuesday and I'm out delivering.
Yeah.
And I'm open. I'm wide open. I've been open for 6 hours, and I've got another 5 hours to go or 4 hours to go, whatever. And I drive down by a parts store, and I see my family member down there that is 3 miles away from my store that had to pass me to get to this place. That's what I have a problem with.
Well, yeah.
Big problem. Well, that really, now that goes home with me, unfortunately. I have to, and I work through that stuff on the day-to-day. When somebody does something like that to me, my gosh.
So for me, if I was you in that situation, I would not want to know from
I don't.
You're not obligated to use me. Just because you're related to me.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
but
that's not the problem.
Don't act like me and you are buddies. Or if you know that I work on cars on the side, when I shut my store down and I work on cars and I do tires and I do this all at my house, and you call me up and try to get a set of tires from me, I promise you I'm not going to sell you a set of tires. Or I'm going to make a
This is the same person you stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to make a tank load of money off of you. I'm going to price it so high, you're going to go tell everybody that you know everybody in our family that I'm trying to rip you off, and I hope that's what you do. That's my mentality of what I think when something like that happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll price you a set of tires, sure. You know,
I would want to
absolutely.
know why those people are there from the standpoint of why did you go so I can fix whatever it is, or see if I can fix whatever it is that caused you to go there instead of coming to me. That's the only reason I would want to know.
Yeah, well, I almost just, this is no lie, I'd just turn them off. I don't care anything. I don't answer their phone calls. You know, they want to know, hey, can you bring your big fancy scan tool down here and check my car out?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Never will happen. You know what I mean?
Don't double cross Matt.
No, don't do it. I'm telling you. I just, I had a family member that literally.
Where's the closest Toro dealer to you?
Toro dealer?
Don't say like a big corporation.
No, I'm not. No.
Because that would. Oh, I don't know.
No, well, no. I mean, we're
Closest
talking 15 miles up the road on the same highway that I'm on.
Oh, is that?
So we're talking 20.
Marble?
Yeah, we're talking 20 minutes away.
Okay, I know who I know what you're talking
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get my mower there.
Oh yeah, you do that. You do that. You'll be taking it back up there and getting it serviced and worked on.
Oh, I will. That's the only people I trust.
Yeah. So, but I did have, and they still do it to this day. That those family members, they buy those parts from those stores and then
Try to get you to do
call me and expect
No.
me. No, that's it. I'm not kidding. You're talking about spitting in your face now.
it. No way.
I promise with everything that's in me right now that they have done that. Well, where did you get the brakes and rotors from? Oh, I got them from the parts store down, you know. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
They're not just so dumb they don't realize it, right?
No, they don't, because if they can, you might get it, and this is no lie. My parts are on a 80% of my product is just in the same price as the next part store.
Yeah.
So if you can't spend another $25 or $30, $40 on a brake service to do this with me, then I don't want no association with you. If you can't spend an extra 30, 40 bucks with me, that's the way I feel about it.
Well, yeah, don't ask me to put them on for you.
Don't ask me. Absolutely not. And
And
you take that thing to a shop and pay some ridiculously high labor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, if you can even find anybody to do it. See, when me and you worked together, we did that. We did that. They let us install people's parts. We don't do that no more. We don't even do oil.
Yeah.
We won't do oil filter, nothing no more.
Yeah.
And the only thing we'll do is carry in tires. That's it.
Right.
But matter of fact, talk about the ridiculously high. I talked to a guy yesterday on the phone. He said, he called me and asked me if we would replace his keyless entry on his F-150. I'm like, nah. Yeah. Okay, what's the other thing you got? He's like, well, my back glass leaks where my sliding glass doors. I'm like,
no.
Okay, well, that's also not us. So I said, man, I hate to say this. I said, but you're probably going to have to go to the dealer, you know. I said, it's, I'd say that's probably a program thing with that keypad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, and I said, and that back glass is, I mean, that's body shop type stuff, and they have body shops. I mean, you probably just should take it to a dealer. Well, I got an appointment at the dealer in a couple of weeks, but problem is I have to agree to drop the vehicle off for 24 to 48 hours, and I have to sign off on a $250 fee for each item I want looked at. I said, my gosh, good luck. See you. That's ridiculous.
God,
yeah, that's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you ain't kidding.
You gotta leave your vehicle here for a minimum of this long.
You know, I done it one time. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I mean, I've got a close to $2,000 scanner that I paid for, somewhere in that ballpark, used, and I went over to somebody's house, family member, again. Went over to their house, and they had bought, you know how you go to a big box store, auto parts store, and they print you out a piece of paper, and they give you the most common fix. Well, that's That's a bunch of bull crap. I mean, if you've got 15 codes in your car, and it's evap, it's a intake. I mean, it could be lean on both banks, evap, yada 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 yada. You've got a whole list of crap it is, and the most, well, of course, they pop up one thing, and then they'll go back again. Well, I didn't fix it, and then they went back like 3 times. This family member did to this parts store, and got this stupid little printout every time.
How is that okay with people? But you can't be wrong in my line of work.
Yeah, I know.
That's insane.
I know.
That is insanity.
Yeah, I know. And they just keep throwing money at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just keep throwing money at it.
No cap.
So I went over there and scanned it, and I'm like, well, it's throwing lean on both banks and this and that and then everything. And I was like, and my first thought was it's probably a purge valve. Throwing lean, it's running lean, it's pulling too much air, it's running lean on both banks, da 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 da. Well, they had replaced like the fuel pump module. They'd done, I mean, yeah. Fuel pump module, they'd put a fuel pump in it. Fuel pump module, it's running. I said the car was running, and you're trying to get rid of this lean code, a lean code and an evap code.
And you put a fuel pump in it.
Put a fuel pump and it was on a Ford.
It had a driver module.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, a driver module.
Yeah, fuel pump driver. So anyways, I took all that, and I popped the hood, and they're telling me all this, and my head's fixing to explode. I'm like, dude, I just come over. They didn't say nothing about this on the phone. The family member didn't. Just can't, can you come over here and see if you can diagnose it? I'll pay you. Okay. So I go over there, and it's sure as the world. I mean, I pull the evap off of it. It's sucking the air straight through the intake. Lean on. I mean, it's the only thing that's what it is. It ain't. They didn't replace that. It's got a code in there for incorrect flow. Okay, that's pretty telltale there. So I told him. He said, well, I'll come by your store tomorrow and get one. Oh, okay. He didn't do it. He comes back too, like 3 or 4 days later. So, hey, I believe that fixed my car. He said, how much do you want to charge me? And I said, well, did you get the part? No, I bought it. I bought it down there at the parts store. Down there, I was like, well, why'd you not come up here and get it? Scoggins was already closed. I thought, boy, that's a really good excuse. So he said, well, how much he fixed it, And this was probably it may have been a week duration there, enough to know that the engine light's not coming back on. And he's like, how much you gonna charge me? I said, $150. He's like, $150? Well, you wasn't over there. An hour. You didn't buy the part from me. I said, how much money have you put in it? I've already put $700 in it. I said, my $150 ain't gonna hurt nothing then. Dude paid me $150. He never called me back again. I told Alex, I said, that right there, from here on out, so I'm gonna handle stuff like that. I charged him $150. Sure did. He's never called me again.
Wow.
He never called me again.
You'll probably go buy him a scan tool now.
But yeah, good luck.
It don't matter. You can have a scan tool. You can't figure it out unless you know anything about it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots.
But that's my family. I have a ton of family that does that stuff. They'll go somewhere else and get stuff. That's really irritating. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, I've got plenty of people, friends and family and everybody else that they'll say, Bo, I want to come up there and get tires with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, you can. That's
Mm-hmm.
totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go to a different store that's closer to the house. Don't come up there just because of me. I'm okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
Yeah.
But
oh, absolutely.
But anyway, send us off.
That's it. All right, guys. Thanks for riding with us. Check back in with us next Monday. We're doing it again up here on the second floor. See you guys.
Thanks.
Better go get some Bengay on that knee.
Get some heat on it tonight. Fire some heat up on that thing.